Danielle Parker had always followed the rules. Her job as a social worker demanded it, ensuring the safety and care of vulnerable children in the most professional manner. But one evening that protocol would shatter like fragile glass. The night sky was painted in deep purples and blues, a hushed wind whispering through the trees as Danielle parked near an old, crumbling church. The chill of autumn flaunted its presence, pinching her cheeks as she wrapped her coat tighter around herself. Hearing about the abandoned child felt unsettling, but nothing compared to seeing him. She found him sitting by the stone steps, his eyes wide like the full moon above, a boy no older than 10, with hair the shade of midnight and a solemn silence that seemed to echo louder than any scream. "Hi," she whispered softly, kneeling in front of him. "I'm Danielle. Can I take you somewhere safe?" The boy merely gazed at her, a mute appeal for something he couldn't vocalize. She gently took his hand, icy cold and slender, and led him to her car, determined to find him a place to belong. Days turned into a maze of frustration. Every foster family she contacted, seasoned veterans in dealing with troubled children, refused him after a single glance at his photo, some unable to articulate their dread. Still, Danielle persisted, feeling an unexplainable bond with the child. His presence was comforting to her, a wary quietude she unexpectedly craved. Yet, something gnawed at the back of her mind, a tug on the threads of her memory. One afternoon, Danielle sat at her cluttered desk, transfixed by a photograph. Her wedding day. She ran a finger over the smiling couple, the faces suddenly strange to her. Her heart caught in her throat. She couldn't remember her husband's name. Panic rose like a tidal wave, crashing through her thoughts. She shoved the picture aside, blaming it on fatigue, stress, anything. But the phenomenon persisted. Memories of her sister faded next, seeping like sand through her fingers. The boy would appear in her dreams, always silent, always watching. Desperate, Danielle researched amnesia symptoms, stress-induced memory loss, chalking it all to work pressure. Until one confrontation left her paralyzed with realization. The boy stood by her doorway, his eyes meeting hers, the weight of ages past, a plea for understanding within them. "What are you?" she asked, her voice trembling. He approached and placed a cold hand on her cheek. A kaleidoscope of images exploded in her mind. Lives she never lived. Families forgotten and lifetimes lost. This was his curse. A silent wanderer who caused those around him to forget those they loved most, protecting them from a fate that was his existence. Danielle's heart sank with the burdened truth. People weren't just forgotten. They were erased, their memories sacrificed to cloak the boy's track from some ancient, unseen pursuer. Danielle knew she had a choice. Leave the boy, abandon his enigma on the steps of another old church, or stay and lose herself completely. As her final moment of clarity arrived, she felt the loss of her own reflection in the mirror of her soul. "I'm sorry," she whispered, voice cracking against the wind as she led him away once more, knowing that through the erasure of her past, she was saving others. She watched the boy walk away, his silhouette vanishing into the night. "Some people aren't forgotten," her mind echoed as her memories dwindled to nothing but shadows. "They're erased to protect the rest of us." And then there was darkness.